My husband and I have been married for 16 years, and the best marriage advice I ever got was always remember that you are on the same team. I can't tell you how many fights that this has helped us resolve, how many disagreements this has gotten us through, and how strong it has made our marriage. Because at the end, after we've worked out whatever disagreement we have, one of us will say to the other, team, and the other one will answer, team. And we'll basically shake on it. And that is how we end and resolve just about every disagreement we've ever had. Or when we're in moments of stress and there's a lot going on, one of us will remind the other, team, right? We're on the same team. When we have disagreements, we're not disagreeing with each other in order to disagree. We're disagreeing in order to resolve it because we're on the same team. And one of the most powerful things that you can do in marketing is to put you and your customer on the same team. Welcome to Market Like a Parent and Parent Like a Marketer, where we explore the connections between parenting and marketing and what one can teach us about the other. I'm Danielle Weil, founder of DW Copy, creator of LaunchFlow. I've got 4 kids. I live on a kibbutz in Israel, and I have spent the past 20 years helping my clients make over $100 million through marketing strategy, copywriting, and launch expertise. Now, this concept of team, the power of being on the same team, is something that's really, really powerful. It's not a new concept. We've got our sports teams. We have tribes that we feel a part of, the communities that we feel part of, the hobbies and universes that we feel like we belong to. Feeling like we belong and feeling like there are people on our side is just one of the reasons why being a part of a team is so powerful. For example, when you're on a team, you generally have a shared worldview about a specific thing, right? You don't have to agree on everything, but you agree that if you're on a soccer team, that this is the team we're rooting for and we're going to win this. You have shared goals. You're working together towards a goal. You're working together to win. You're working together to build something, to create something, to do something, to accomplish something. You might have an economic goal within a company even. We're on the same team in this company. We're working to meet this financial goal for the business. We've got a shared mission that matters, something that's beyond financials, something that's beyond status. We've got something that we feel that we're working towards that matters to the world, that's making a difference in the world in a big or small way. It could be as small as we want to raise our kids to be good people. That's our shared mission as a family team. A team cares about each other. The people on your team, whether you've played a sport, whether you've been a part of a group, there's a camaraderie, there's a concern for each other, we take care of each other, of the other people on our team. There's social cohesion. We might disagree, but we eventually resolve it because we're on the team. The team is what matters. We put the whole ahead of our own individuality. And sometimes we are banded together against an external force. If you have siblings, and I see this myself with my own kids, you can fight with your sibling, but as soon as somebody else teases them, threatens them, bullies them, oh no, that can't be. That's when you will stand up for them. I see how my husband and I making the team the priority has affected how our kids see the world and how they treat each other as a result of this. My kids, yes, they argue, yes, they bicker, but ultimately, I see how much they care for each other, how much they love each other, how much they worry about each other. They are on the same team. We have made them a part of this team. And they feel it. They know it. They feel like they're contributing to it. This idea of team, I think, is a big part of Israeli culture. It's something that we prioritize. I live on a community, like I said, I live in a kibbutz. It's a small community with about 100 families. Everybody knows everybody else. We're all neighbors. There's some even economic cooperation that happens. Complicated, but it does have all the same elements of the team: the shared worldview, the shared goals, the shared mission, the care for each other in the community. When someone has a new baby, there's always a meal train for 2 weeks. Every time I had a baby, we got meals and cakes and soups and just nonstop from the neighbors. And I know this happens in other communities as well, but it's becoming rarer and rarer to find. There's that social cohesion. There's sometimes this banding together against outside forces. And that is something that is especially relevant here in this country, because there are outside forces that are real threats. And so we know that unless we are on the same team, unless we are together and standing together, we don't have a chance. We have to band together to help each other in the face of that outside external threat. And that is why there's such a priority here specifically, and I see it in the school system. It starts in preschool, where the kids are taught to work together. There's really a priority put on cooperation, more so than academics. Kids here in preschool don't learn to read. They're not expected to know how to read until first grade. Preschool is for play. Preschool is for learning new concepts. Yes, they learn letters. Yes, they learn colors, but mostly they learn how to be together in a social group. There's a priority placed on it in elementary schools as well. A parameter of the class is how connected they are, how cohesive they are. They do team building activities in elementary school and prioritize it. In youth groups, in the army, in communities, there's a priority put on the social cohesion of the whole of the team. And what happens as a result is that you have a society where there's more trust, where I can let my kids take the bus by themselves at the age of 13 or 14. My kids walk to elementary school and back by themselves because I trust that if something happens, that someone would take care of them. And that is what happens. And you are able to accomplish more as part of a team than you can yourself. And there's a book that actually talks a lot about this. It's called The Genius of Israel by Dan Senor. Leave it in the notes. It's a great book, highly recommend. But let's take this idea of team and the importance of team and apply it to marketing. So let's talk about the elements of team that we talked about before, right? The shared worldview. If you are talking to a certain audience, a certain group of people, if your product is targeted towards a specific market, they might have that shared worldview, those things in common. How can you actively create that? By calling out who your people are and what we believe in. For example, if you're helping women in menopause, we believe that menopause shouldn't have to be misery because XYZ. How can you make your company values a call for someone to stand with you in that shared worldview? And actually repel the people who don't have those beliefs, who don't have those values. Because part of that is actually saying no to the people who aren't a fit for your product or offer. It is okay to say, no, this is not for everybody, so that you can actually reinforce it for the people who it is for. There are shared goals. If you can say, as a business, as a company, as a business owner, we are working together. If you care enough about your clients, and I certainly feel this with my clients, that when they come on board to work with me, I care about their business. I get to know their business. I know who they are. I know almost what's going on in their lives. They become a part of the family in many, many respects. And they feel it too. They feel that we are actually working together towards their goals, because I care enough about them to make their goals my goals. And that's really how I feel. Shared mission. Does your business have a mission? I have a client who talks about mission-based businesses all the time. And I was a little bit skeptical even before that of like, okay, well, I love what I do. I care about my people, but do I really have a mission? And she actually was able to show me that yes, you do have a mission with your business. It's there, even if you haven't acknowledged it. So how can you acknowledge it, bring it to the forefront, and make it something that people can join and be a part of? How can people be a part of that mission? And how can you make it bigger than just their individual achievement? I'm on a mission to help women feel at home in their bodies, says one of my clients. I'm on a mission to help business owners stop hating marketing and realize that they already have these skills and lean into them. I'm on a mission to change the way we parent our kids, et cetera, et cetera. And if you can talk about that bigger mission, the importance of that mission, have people join that mission, not only does it feel like you are part of something bigger than yourself, it feels selfless. It feels good to be a part of something bigger. It feels like we belong. That feeling of belonging, of being included, is from cave person days, something really, really powerful in human psychology. We need to feel like we belong somewhere. Can people belong to the mission of your business? What is that mission? Do they know what it is? How can people be part of it? And even if you have a smaller business, you're not sure your business has a mission, there are things you stand for. There are things you want. Why are you in business in the first place? What are you doing it for? Yes, there might be, okay, I'm doing this for financial reasons, et cetera, because I enjoy it. Usually there is a bigger reason too. What is the difference you're making? What is the difference your business is making? How do you make that part of your mission? On our business team, we care about each other. If you truly care about your clients and customers, they should feel that someone is there for them. If they have an issue or a problem or something's not working, that someone is going to be there to help them fix it. And you can tell when someone actually cares, when there's a person on the other side who is actually there and cares about you and your results. You feel the difference. I've had conversations with airlines, with big, big companies where at the corporate level, they may not care about me. But I was talking to a person who did care, and that made all the difference. Whether you are a business of one or a business of 10,000, make your customers feel like you care. This idea of social cohesion too, like we are all part of something together. There's an identity. Think about Taylor Swift, right? What are her fans called? They're Swifties. They have a name. This is a group that I'm part of. There's social cohesion there. There are shared rituals. There are shared identities. They're a tribe. She is a really good example of being able to take a brand and turn it into a tribe, to a mission, to a team. They're banded together. You're banded together against an outside force, an outside opponent. So now this is an interesting one because what you can do, and you see many businesses and brands doing this, is there a common enemy? Usually, if you've got a mission, there is something that you're fighting against. There's something that you're pushing back against. There's something that you're working to change. There's a force that exists, whether it is company, a prevailing way of thinking, a situation that exists that you're pushing back against. Now, how can you highlight that? How can you talk about it? How can you say, well, we are banded together against this force? Having a common enemy is really powerful for bringing people together and making them feel like they are working together for good, for a better purpose, for a greater purpose. So if you can answer these questions, who are we? What do we believe? Who are we standing against? What are we working towards? And how do we support each other? If you can answer those questions for your business and for your family, you will be building something that is connected. that has trust, that has cohesion? I invite you to answer those questions both for your family, and remember that whether you have a partner or not, whether you have kids or not even, who is a part of your family team and how can you make that team stronger? And your business. What does your business team look like? Not just your employees, but your clients. What does that look like? What are you working towards? And how can you highlight that so that you can be stronger together? How can you give people a team to join when they say yes to you and your offer? Until next time, I'm Danielle Weil. Let's go out there and market like a parent and parent like a marketer.